that was the difference in the game. We were up 54-49. They closed the half on a big run. That bled into the start of the second. Give our guys credit for fighting back in the fourth. I think we cut it down to 8, so we didn't give in to the game. But that was the run that changed it for sure.
There was a stretch there where I believe it was 112, 104 or something like that, and
right.
there was a few opportunities.
Yeah, we had 2 shots that we missed. That we would have cut the lead a little bit, but we did get it to 8, so we showed some good resilience there. But taking care of the ball, closing quarters closing and start second and third were the difference.
And Bub had a career high tonight. What did you see from him?
He's just tough. He's just a competitor. Tried to will us back into the game. Obviously, he made some shots, but this is Bub growing before our eyes. So nice effort by him to keep us in the game and get us close there in the fourth.
Slow start for Jordan shooting the ball, but he kind of figured it out. What led to that breakthrough?
We started getting some stops, most importantly, and then we were able to get out in transition. He was able to get loose. I thought he actually had good looks in the first half, just didn't make some of them. We didn't shoot the ball overly well in the first half.
You guys had a pretty overwhelming advantage inside, points in the paint, rebounds, that kind of thing. Is it frustrating when you do so much well, but the three-point shooting, which is just kind of like variance some nights, doesn't go your way and kind of leads to the result sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, some shots can come and go, but it's, we didn't take care of the ball as well as we should have. Some of our shots weren't exactly always on rhythm, so give them a little bit of credit. And our defense was not enough force to make them take contested ones. Give Young credit, he made some tough ones, but some of the other ones were offensive rebounds or transition that we didn't get matched up quick enough on. Those we can control.
You say Bub is growing right before our eyes. Where are the things that you're seeing the biggest bits of growth that he takes on more of an offensive responsibility?
It's just, game by game, his leadership, his ability to read the game, what it needs, what it takes, that feel for when to be aggressive, when to get his teammates involved, all those things he's grown on.
Season high 20 field goal attempts for Bilal. What did you see from the shots that he was getting?
He got good shots. It was attacking. It was downhill. He got some open threes that he's been making lately that I liked. But I liked that he was constantly in the paint. I mean, that led to some offensive rebounds and some ones he didn't make, but he was aggressive tonight, which I want him to continue to be.
Can you speak to how Malcolm Brogdon impacts the lineup whenever he's in?
Just a steadying presence for us, understands the game flow, time and score, what to do. Just a good, solid approach, and generates rim shots for us because his ability to get to the rim, get to the free throw line, draws fouls.
It seems like every time we ask you guys about Tristan and Tristan himself, it's emphasized the defensive end and his improvement there. So how has he progressed on that end of the floor?
I think in each one of these games he's shown some progress a little bit. Using his size, he's really tall, vertical at the rim, a little bit better tonight. You got to get game reps in this league, and he's getting some against some good players. So that's all part of it. The 5 minutes, such a tough part of defense because you're really involved in every play. Such an important part of your defense, and he's growing a little bit each game from that.
Coach, A.J. Johnson got some run there.
Yeah.
He had 4 quick fouls. How do you think he can grow on the defensive end and limit those?
Some of it, I thought that he was used his strength better than people would have thought. Some of them, he got caught in a couple tough ways, but I liked his physicality. He kind of chested some guys, just got to show his hands at the end. But I liked what he's shown us in these first 2 games. He's not been scared. He doesn't know all our stuff yet, and he's just been aggressive. And I like that mentality.
I was a little surprised, but also not at the same time. I figured I'd get traded. Just didn't know where. Was kind of just waiting, but was a little bit surprised. It was a little last minute. But that's out of my control. And, I tend to not focus on things I can't control.
What do you think you can bring to the Wizards as a vet, both on the floor and in the locker room?
Just my experience. I'm in my 11th season, and I played for really good teams up until now, and was able to do some things with them, and just really just bring that experience over here. It's a young group of guys, really looking to figure out their own in this league and just helping them with that.
I'm curious what you think of Bub Carrington and a young point guard, what you think about his game, and if you maybe see a little bit of yourself in him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way that he's able to get downhill, put pressure on the defense is definitely a sight to see. And me being a bigger guard as well, that can get downhill as well. To be able to see that and come in and be able to work with Bub and see see him just to progress. But he's heading in the right direction, and that's all you can ask for.
What? It's a pretty jarring change in team situation, right? Going from Memphis, where they're, I think, second in the West, to what the Wizards are rebuilding as a team. What's that change like for you?
It's I guess you can kind of say it's confusing because you're just trying to figure out where you stand in that, and figure out what you can do to help, without stepping on any toes, but also being yourself. At the same time, it's a fresh start. We get to come in to a rebuild to where, they're looking for that help. They're looking for that advice and that experience, and I'm the one to be able to come in and help with that.
In your initial conversations with the front office, how have they kind of pitched the role to you?
Just to be me. That's really it. Be me. Be what got you here. All the things that you do. That work ethic. On the court, off the court. Being the vet to these young guys, and how this game works and how this league works.
How are you feeling physically?
Feeling great. The finger is healing up perfectly fine. We're going to continue to monitor it and make sure we get it back to where it needs to be fully and get back out there.
And then you were there for the establishment of a pretty robust culture, especially on defense in Boston, and one of the people who spearheaded that culture. What did you learn from that experience, and what can you kind of apply here with the Wizards?
Just what it takes to go into it. It takes everybody, and it's also not easy. When you're trying to do something great, it takes a lot. But like I said, we have a great young group here, talent-wise, and that's going to make it a lot easier for us to get on that track because of that.
I want to ask you about that. Obviously, you know defense really well. What do you think about the foundation they're starting to lay, some of the pieces that they're putting in place on that end of the floor?
It's great. Like I said, we got the talent. It's just finding, where everybody fits in this big puzzle of ours, and putting us in the right place to succeed and figuring it out. And that's what it's going to take. Bring me being here, an experienced guy, trying to glue it together and figure out the things that we're missing.
The injuries for you, it seems like it's just been a bunch of minor things,
Yeah.
right, the last couple of years. So how would you describe kind of your journey to trying to get back to being healthy and being the player that you've been?
It definitely has a couple nick and knacks over the couple of years here. As much as we hate injuries, I'm thankful for that. Those are my biggest concerns, and it's not anything worse. But I feel like it's definitely been an up and down journey for me, trying to get back. But I'm using this time to my best ability to make sure I'm doing everything that I can to stay healthy and get back healthy.
The ball was going in the basket a few times. Teammates were finding me. I would just say the ball was moving a lot more, so I just got a little bit more opportunities to put some shots up, and they were going in today.
Trade deadline is come and gone. I'm curious what you think about what people like Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton can bring to the locker room and maybe help you acclimate into the NBA.
Oh, they bring a lot of experience and just overall knowledge on the game. And then, like, those two guys are specifically specialists in their area, so they bring a lot of knowledge on certain things as well. Like Marcus obviously bringing all the defensive knowledge, you could think of, and he's already implementing that. And then Chris just bringing winning knowledge, bringing how to score, how to attack different defenses. Like, they already are kind of talking us through things like that.
AJ said that you guys have gotten to know each other pretty well. So what do you think about his addition, AJ Johnson?
I've known AJ since high school. We kind of go back a little bit. He's a good guy. Like, obviously, like he'll fit right into this locker room. Obviously, a good player too. So that's just it just makes us that much better adding him to the team.
And I know you guys have talked about having 3 rookies and how it's cool to kind of be in it together. What do you think about just adding a 4th from the same class?
Yeah, like I said, I love it. It's just another person to just relate with, another person to carry Chick-fil-A with, another person, like you just it's always, I would say, in my opinion, it's just more fun, just a lot better when you have more people to relate to and a newer environment.
Go ahead, please.
Bub, you talked about Marcus already helping out on the defensive side of things. In what ways has he already started lending his voice?
Like I said, he's been in, well, I didn't have to say that. He's been in this league for a long time, so he's played against pretty much everyone out there. So he's bringing a lot of specific player knowledge to the team. Like in this game, for example, playing the Hawks, he's probably had to guard Trae Young 25 times. So he's given us a little bit of knowledge on how to stop him. Well, what are his tendencies? Like going right, he's more likely to do this and this. And going left, he's more like, just trying to give us stuff that the coaches may not tell us.
You've talked about how you want to become a two-way player. How nice is it to have someone like Marcus who brings that specific defensive skill set and that expertise?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's kind of what you want, what you ask for. Someone that's cool enough to know when to speak or when to give their 2 cents and to know that their 2 cents will always be right. He's not someone that's gonna steer you wrong. Like you said, he's seen it all before, seen it multiple times. So it's a great piece.
You were characteristically modest about your game tonight. How fulfilling is it to see that all the skill work you've been working on is accelerating some of the production that you're having on the court?
I really, it's always nice to see kind of the fruits of your labor, especially like coming into the league. Well, actually today, like after the game, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗧𝗏, we've played the Cavs 4 times, and he was on that team, I think all 4 times, or 3 out of 4 times for the trade. And, we played them earlier in the year, and their scout on me he was just telling me right after this game, their scout on me was like, go under everything, force him to shoot, stuff like that. And he was telling me just now that, like, it's nice. It takes a lot of guys a lot more time to, like, be that confident and change scouting reports and things like that. And, to hear someone that I'm not even necessarily friends with, I couldn't tell you 2 things about 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗧𝗏, but just to hear someone tell me that, that means a lot. It's nice to see, like I said, like the fruits of your labor.